in your schools, this means that you have a fair system of induction. If you have no quality teachers in your schools, this means that there are problems, there are issues which may be related to the induction issue. The hiring of the teachers is not focused on quality standards, fair induction that is not based on merit, rather than that induction of teachers is based on some political or any other, influence, and as a result, you compromised on the quality of teachers to hire for the schools. So this is very much linked with the previous issue that we discussed thoroughly, the lack of professional development of teachers in schools. If once your induction that is related to the quality is not focused, you will have problems of the teaching learning in your school. What should be quality standards for teachers to select? The first question, and that is very important question, you need to focus on that. Okay, again, that would be the problem. The most important point is how to develop some certain standards of quality, so standards for teachers, quality standards for teachers. And it's very important question. Once you will address this question, what should be the quality standards for teachers to select, you will get a very clear answer. So you will come up with some sort of criteria. So at that criteria will help you to select those competent teachers who fall at the criteria you have developed for defining quality standards for teachers to select. And the second important question is who should be eligible to apply for teaching position? When you have a quality standards for teachers to select, the second most important thing is that will let you know who is eligible to apply for a teaching position and who is not eligible. If you have a fair system of selection, then you will have to identify the eligible teachers and non-eligible teachers, ineligible teachers. When you have these two important questions in your mind to resolve this issue, the third important question that comes, that is, what type of professional qualifications are required for teachers to teach? So once you have this particular thing, that these are the eligibility criteria, this is the quality standard for the teachers to select, and the teachers who have this eligibility and they fulfill the quality standards, so their qualifications matters a lot. So they have these professional qualifications, these general qualifications, and they can teach now in the classroom. So this professional qualification helps teachers to teach in the classroom in an effective manner. So for that, and this question is linked with the professional development of the teachers. How much they professionally developed before joining the teaching force? What are the professional qualifications they have obtained? How long they have been teaching in schools or colleges before when you have selected those teachers for the teaching, or those teachers is like you, prospective teachers have a vast experience of practicum, teaching experience in the schools, how long they have taught during the professional education before joining the teaching. So this will enable you to make sense of teachers quality. And finally, how to enhance and ensure the quality of the teachers in schools. Once you come up with a clear understanding of the idea of the quality of the teachers, and you look at the quality standards, and then you look at the qualifications that the teachers are having, and the skills and knowledge they are, and they have the expertise in their life to teach effectively in the classroom with their knowledge, skills, and the right attitude as a professional teacher. So all those collectively make sense for a professional teacher to teach in the classroom. So this is how you can make sense of how can we address the quality teachers in your schools. Now come to the sixth contemporary issue. That is, because with all these issues are very much related to education, and our focus of this subject is contemporary issues and trends in education. So we will discuss the issues, contemporary issues, in the light of education, in the context of education, in the context of Pakistan. We will discuss increasing level of school age dropout. This is again a very pertinent issue in the context of Pakistan, that with the passage of time in your schools, you can see the dropout. Children who are registered, who are enrolled in schools, they do not complete their education. In between, they left the school. They left school for many reasons. So that is the problem that the teachers are facing. Can you just give me a little break, please?
Sure, sir.
जी. So we were
सर
discussing.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपकी.
अब आ गई?
जी सर.
जी अभी आवाज आ रही है?
आपकी आवाज क्लियर है।
ओके तो हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि इंक्रीजिंग लेवल ऑफ स्कूल एज ड्रॉप आउट. सो व्हाट शुड बी a policy for dropout to control or at least to reduce. Now, this is very important. If you have an issue in your school that the children left the school before completing their level of the desired qualification, and that is called a dropout. In between, for example, if a child does not complete the primary level and left the school before completing grade 5th, so that is a dropout. So how can you control their dropout? What is the policy that your school is having to control the dropout children? So these are the contemporary issues you need to focus on that. The next point is, what are the strategies school should you take to minimize dropouts? The first thing is the policy. What is your policy? What the policy says to control the dropout. Second is at implementation level. The first point that you see here is the policy level initiative. Policy level, what kind of policy, what kind of guidelines should be there to control the dropout? The second one is related with the implementation, and that is the implementation of the strategy, the kind of strategy, what kind of approaches your school should adopt to control or to minimize the dropout. Now come to the third point: how to find and avoid reasons of dropout. Okay, you have a policy, you have some strategy, but still there is a dropout. So how you will find those reasons of the dropout, and what could be adopted to avoid that avoid the dropout. So what are the reasons, and how you will focus on that to avoid the dropout. And the fourth point is how to engage all stakeholders to play their role in controlling the dropouts. Okay, you have a policy, you have an implementation strategy, you focus on the case by case, why children before completing their education left the school, what are those reasons, and how can you avoid control, or how can you address those problems to help the students not to left the school. For that you engage stakeholders. Here stakeholder mean parents, teachers, community representatives, NGOs, and government if that is a public school, the government departments, DDO, EDO office people, and if that is a private school, then the board of governors and the owner of the school, etc. So stakeholder means all those people who have directly or indirectly they have their role in the school. So in this way, you can engage everyone to address the problem of dropout. Now come to another important issue, that is the issues related to system of examination. This is something, very challenging issue. The system of examination, issues related to system of examination. What kind of the system of examination your schools have? How you address the problems? How you engage with the assessment system? how you assess your students. What should be a policy for assessment and evaluation? What should be the ideal scenario for assessment and evaluation? So what is your policy in schools that uses for assessment and evaluation? How to assess students' learning outcomes? What are the strategies that you are using to assess a learner? Either the learner has learned something or not. What is your strategy? And finally, what are the strategies schools should take to improve exams? Okay, these are some of these strategies which do not give you that much result. But what should you do? What kind of the strategies you should use to improve the system of examination, to engage? Because when you improve the system of examination, this means that is very much related to construction of paper, that is very much related to administration of the exam, that is very much related to checking, and that is very much related to each and everything that all together contributes to enhance the quality of teaching and learning, quality of examination. So that is something very important to understand. So in this way, you can address the issues related to system of examination. Now come to the 8th important issue, that is misunderstanding of supervisory roles and poor standards. Supervisory roles and poor standards mean how you look at a child, how you teach students in the classroom, what are the approaches that you are using to engage with a student, in terms of his attendance or her attendance, in terms of the learning levels, in terms of your response, and in terms of the way the child is following the rules and the regulations of the school, and comply all those necessary conditions to fulfill the needs or her needs of learning. So how you supervise? What is the strategy that you are using in your school to engage students with the teaching learning? How to supervise students, teachers, and researchers in order to improve practices related to teaching and learning? So this is something, there is a misunderstanding of the supervisory roles and the poor standards. Unless you will have not a clear policy. Supervisor means teacher has a supervisory role. How a teacher should supervise learning of a learner. How should a teacher use the teaching learning approaches which help a learner to improve with the passage of time, and having a close interaction with the student, that the student is improving or not, what kind of the challenges the student is facing, how the teacher is helping a child to cope up with those challenges and improve his teaching, improve his learning. So this is all comes under the supervision of a teacher and the supervision of the school. So for that, you need to look at all those things. You need to look at the teachers, you need to look at the students, and you need to look at the researchers as well. How the culture of research that informs the problems of teaching learning, and how that research finding is incorporated in the practices of teaching and learning to improve. So all these kind of the things need to understood very clearly. unless you will not understand, unless you will not focus on these things, you cannot improve the learning conditions of a learner. Secondly, as supervision is the monitoring of teaching and learning. The system of school supervision is aimless. जब तक आपका ये टीचिंग लर्निंग की मॉनिटरिंग नहीं होती है, तो आपका जो भी स्कूल का जो सुपरविजन का जो मकसद है वो फोत हो जाता है। जब आपका टीचिंग किस तरह हो रही है, लर्निंग किस तरह हो रही है, ये जब तक नहीं होता है, तो दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम, एंड दैट कैन नॉट बी meaningful. So there is not only lack of supervisory activities in the schools in the context of Pakistan, but also the process of supervision itself that does not bring any positive result for the teachers and students. And this is very critical scenario. We claim that we have a monitoring system, we have a supervision system in schools and colleges and universities. But unfortunately, we do not critically reflect on those all processes of teaching, all processes of learning, and how the teachers are teaching, what kind of the knowledge they are providing and sharing with the students, how they engage their students in different levels of learning, what are the learning outcomes that you are focusing and you are assessing, and as a result, how those graduates demonstrate the knowledge, skills, and the attitude in the market when they go back to the market, when they go back to the schools for teaching, and they go back to other departments, other sectors, to perform their role. So there must be a very strong mechanism. There must be a very thoroughly engaging these students from the school to their practical life, where they, after completing their education, they start a job and they perform their duty there. So from school to at that level, when you have a mechanism to engage people, how they are performing, what they are doing, what are the needs of the those graduates, what are the need of the people, and as a result, when you reflect on and come back to the school system where you can enhance the learning levels. So this is really very, very comprehensive area that needs to be focused on. So I think for today, 8